afternoon, everybody. 12 minutes, here we go. I've been given my orders. Right. In those 12 minutes, I'm going to try and convince you of two things. It's about industrial biotechnology entering a great phase of opportunity, but it's complex and risky. And point two is the UK is starting to get it right to help investors and corporates de-risk that R&D scale up and access to markets. So you can judge by the end of the 12 minutes whether I've made that clear. Who am I? I'm Paul Mines. I've sort of had, bad career, good career. Working for large corporates, burning gas and oil, making plastics with a sort of short stay at a business school. Then did a bit of corporate finance work for a boutique corporate finance house. And then since 2000-ish, I've been working in the sort of renewable space. I run a business called Biome, which has a bioplastics division. I'm not looking for money because we're listed on AIM, probably too early, but we are. And we make biodegradable and bio-based plastics, which we sell mostly into North America. In the last couple of years, I've also chaired a spin-out called Lixia, which was a spin-out from Imperial College. And for my other sins, I chair something called the Industrial Biotechnology Leadership Forum, which is a government business sort of forum in the UK advising DCIT on how to grow the industrial biotechnology space. And I'm also deputy chair of the Bio-Based and Biodegradable Industry Association, which is difficult to say fast, but is the de facto industry association in this space. I don't know what is IB. This is what it means to me. At the heart is the sort of hard engineering biology, synthetic biology, and round that are bio-based inputs, cells and plants as factories, the microbiome, enzymes as catalysts, and for me that's industrial biotechnology. And on the IBLF and BBIA I mentioned before, corporates from around that space, be it chemicals, materials and agriculture and food, are all represented. I guess the space we see the most activity at the moment is in sort of chemicals and materials and in agriculture and food, and sort of the membership of those associations and the interest levels have been growing in the last few years quite significantly. What does Biome do and what's our credentials in this space? When I say what do we do, actually, Amy, can you put your hands up? She heads our sort of biotechnology team. We're trying to make I thought I'd put some chemistry in for those who wanted to see some chemistry, but we're trying to make heteroaromatic monomers, which we then polymerize into polymers. I'd have to say the polymerization bit's going very well. We've been at this for about 7 years. I was speaking to someone earlier. We spent about £7.5 million. We've got up to about half a ton level on the polymers. But on the sort of the bio-based route using biotechnology, we're still at the grams, micrograms stage, having spent 7 years doing this. The most progress we've made in that 7 years has been in the last year, and that was after we took the decision to sort of embed our team in the sort of foundry at Symbicity in Imperial, which has made a huge difference. Because this is sort of how I see IB now, and I guess I was seduced in the first place by this incredible changing cost of doing synthetic biology, without realizing or engineering biology, that actually the sort of state of play of actually getting from there to a market product is, and this is a picture for those who haven't seen it before, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in 1953, first designed suspension bridge, one of the first, hit by the wind and broke up. And I sort of think that's where the engineering is at the moment. We can do some amazing things in synthetic biology, but the unintended, we don't know what we don't know, and the unintended consequences are huge. And that's what makes the sort of getting from concept to product really difficult. I think there are sort of gleams of light within it. I think some of you will have seen before, which is this sort of design, build, test, learn, repeat cycle around synthetic biology. I think some of the automation we've got is getting faster and faster at doing this. There is talk of AI helping and assisting that. I think that's not there as much as it's talked about, but will help. But I also see that the sort of help of AI, not just in the sort of synthetic biology stage, but in the sort of scaling fermentation and ultimately in running smaller scale facilities to sort of deploy some of these technologies as well. This is a very busy slide, but it's why I travel very much in hope in these next few years. The current government deployed its National Vision for Engineering Biology end of last year, and I've just picked up 3 elements here, which I believe, this is my own marking, by the way, rather than, and some colleagues, rather than the government's marking. You know, I do think we've got world-leading technology in this space. I do think in infrastructure, you know, we've got a improving set of scale-up facilities, testing facilities that allow you to bring these products to market without lots of initial capital from VCs or from whoever. And I do think the talent and skill base in the UK, Brexit aside, is growing quite quickly, and we've done quite a lot of work with Cogent Skills, looking at the people in the IB space, their median pay, and lost in the numbers down here, but the sort of the diversity of the people in this space is very high. They're paid well, and it's an attractive space to work. So, you know, I think on these 3 alone, and probably on these as well, the UK is a great space to be doing IB at this time. So, interesting space, great range of opportunities. You haven't asked for advice, but I would really say deep dive to understand your technical risk. I was talking to someone earlier. It's quite hard, I think, for a manager or an investor in this space to understand and really de-risk their technical risk in this space. And there are others who have now been before you. So partner, find, you know, there are associations in this room, I suspect, who can help you not repeat the mistakes that some of us already made trying to get from lab to market. 12 minutes? Thank you.